Just so you know, you're kicking it with K. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, let's go. It's time to turn up your radio. Vibes will flow. Just so you know, you're kicking it with K.
Hey y'all, what's up? Thank you for tuning in to the Kicking It with K Marie podcast. I'm your girl K Marie. Like, who else would I be, right? Okay, so for those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, welcome. I welcome you. And just to let you know what we're all about, we are a podcast for the culture. Here you'll receive advice from experts. You will listen, you will learn, and you will laugh, okay? Because that's what we like to do here at the Kicking It with K Marie podcast. All right, so I don't know how many of you heard the announcement from last week, but there's going to be a little bit of changes because your girl's about to be busy. Okay. So, so like I said, we're in seasons already. I said we're going to go to seasons, but we're in seasons already. But the difference is we're going to take a break like they do for television shows. Okay. So May will be the end of season 3. Okay, and then we're gonna come back in October because I got some movies to write. I got some things to do. So y'all gonna be all right, okay? And this series for the month of May is the Anything Goes series because I don't have a specific topic. It's gonna be different topics. Today we're gonna talk about, why the nice guys finish last, so it seems. And then coming up, we're gonna have the relationship panel coming up. We're back. Okay, get ready for that. It's gonna be a good topic. And we want you guys to submit those questions to any one of us. Okay, you can submit those questions and then we'll answer them live. So we're gonna go live, we're gonna do prime time. And then I have the resident sex therapist, DeAndrea. She's going to come back and I'm going to have another guest on the show. We're going to talk about sex, y'all. So, mom, don't watch that episode, okay? And then I have a wonderful poet coming on. She is dope, and you guys are really going to love her. And then I have like some other um uh topics and episodes. It might be more than 4. We'll see. It might be a few more, some bonus episodes. So looking forward to that. So whatever platform you are listening to me on right now, go ahead and follow, okay? And subscribe and share. Don't forget to do all that. So I thank you very much. So today, again, we're going to talk about why it seems like the nice guys finish last. And I have my sisters on the show today. So you guys going to be listening in on some sister conversation. Okay, because we're going to talk about this, the Russell Wilsons versus the Futures. So yeah, we're gonna talk about it, y'all. So without further ado, let me introduce our first guest. Y'all know her. Y'all know her. She is a friend of the pod. That's my sis. Y'all know her. She's part of the relationship panel. She is a phenomenal creative. If I tell you all that she does, we'll be here all night. So I'll call her the scene stiller, Cameron Elaine. Hey, Cam.
Hello, darlings. How are you?
As she
I
come in
love
sipping.
you. Thank you. I love my sister, y'all, because she always celebrates me and she encourages me. So she's just not a podcaster. She's the real deal. Okay. So
Oh,
y'all get it together. Okay.
oh,
Hey.
thank you, girl. Thank you. Okay, and welcoming. I want you to help me welcome my little sis. She it's her first time on our podcast, and I think it's her first time on a podcast. So I told her, girl, you don't have to worry about it. We just talking. It's just us. It's just us. Okay, so help me welcome my little sis, Chantel Miller. Hey
Hey,
guys.
baby
Hey.
sis. How you doing?
Hey, I just want to
Good to
thank
see you.
y'all. I just want to thank you guys for allowing me to to speak on the topics and just being on here. It's just awesome being with y'all sisters. I love y'all both. Oh
Oh,
my
thank
God.
you.
We love you
Thank
too,
you,
girl.
girl. This is a show with creative. Chantel is a creative to y'all because oh we go back.
Yeah.
Singing in a choir, singing in our own group.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right, SWV.
All
Right.
right. All right. It was pretty much.
So yeah, so you guys are going to enjoy the ladies tonight or today, morning, afternoon, whenever you're listening to this. But yeah, so I just want to say cheers, ladies. It's
Oh, yes.
cheers. Yes,
Cheers.
cheers. All
Cheers.
right. So before right.
Mhm.
Oh, let me sip. Let me sip.
Okay.
Okay, so before we get into our topic tonight, so we're gonna go to the new segment, What in the World? Bam. And today's okay, so what in the world is I get stories. It can be nationally, it can be internationally, just stories that make you go, what in the world? This one is this one is a little different though. I just want to get you guys' take on this and see is this something that you would do. So I don't know if you all heard about this story. It came out a few days ago, and it was an Oklahoma couple that got married on the airplane. Did y'all hear about that?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
did hear something about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just briefly, an Oklahoma City couple, their flight got canceled on the way to elope to Las Vegas. And on a Southwest Airlines, Southwest said on a Facebook post that Pam Patterson and Jeremy Salda booked a Sunday flight to Las Vegas and decided to travel in their wedding attire. Number one,
Oh.
yeah. So
What
you
in the
just
world?
so okay. So you just on the plane in your tux and in your wedding dress. Okay.
Oh, I know about that.
Right.
So were they? But were they like really dressed, or were they like how some nowadays people be doing strange things when they get married?
I mean, she wasn't like she didn't have like the ball gown wedding dress on, but they were
She had on
dressed. They were
white.
dressed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
they were
she had on.
dressed.
Okay.
She
Oh, they
does.
was dressed to go
I
to the
think
chapel then.
right.
Yep. They
Oh,
Yeah.
said
okay.
that they decided to travel in their wedding attire to be ready for their wedding chapel appointment at 9 p.m. So they probably took like a late flight so they can be there so they don't have to change or anything like that.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
it says the couple arrived at Dallas Fort Worth International Airport to catch their connecting flight to Harry Reid International Airport in Las Vegas, but after multiple delays, they were told that their flight was canceled.
Mm.
Mhm. Yeah.
I need
So,
to sip on that one. 'Cause
so
I
a
would have been
fellow,
hot.
so a fellow passenger named Chris, who also attempted to travel from Dallas to Las Vegas, overheard them, aka he was ear hustling.
Mhm.
Right.
And he said that he was an ordained minister and he would be willing to personally preside over their wedding in Las Vegas. So the trio booked the last three remaining seats on the Southwest from Dallas airport to Las Vegas.
Mm.
And then it says, while boarding the new flight, the pilot, Captain Gill, noticed Patterson wearing a wedding gown and asked her about it. Um, so she told him about all of that. The crew, y'all, the crew decorated the passenger area, the seats and everything, with toilet paper streamers
Oh wow.
Mm.
and used snack mix to create a sash for the minister. A flight attendant stood in as a maid of honor, and a personal photographer who happened to be on the same flight took out her camera to document the ceremony. And then another passenger passed around an old notebook for the whole cabin to sign well wishes and their seat numbers, which was given to the bride and groom as a makeshift guest book. So, I mean, that was sweet. You
Yeah.
know, that was sweet. But would you guys just wait until the next flight, or Just or just go ahead and just get married in the aisle of a plane.
It
Look,
sounds to me like they were trying to just get some attention because
Oh,
the bottom line really is where they from, Kentucky or Timbuktu? I mean, we gonna get married on a
Dallas
plane, a trail mix. Well, they must be from a very small town in Dallas, I would like to assume.
from the
Because
backwoods,
what in the world?
right.
Because when you start doing toilet paper streamers, that means that your marriage is
full of.
maybe up
It's
that
gonna be
part.
full of ish.
Mhm. Full of dung. So I don't know. What do you think?
I at first when I heard the actual story, because I think it was like on the internet somewhere, and I thought it was a cute story, but I thought they had totally missed their flight and they didn't know what else to do. So they just ended up getting married on the plane. But if they had like other options, I'm like, I would just wait. But me, I would never do that though. I would just
You don't know what kind
wait.
of you don't know what kind of spirit that person carry talking about they are ordained minister. Did you get your license because
That,
you are ordained, or did you get your license because you got it off the internet?
Right,
I'm
yeah,
that
just
part.
that's
saying.
what I was
So
thinking
nowadays you can just
too.
get a car.
Oh yeah.
Right, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, he just happened to be an ordained minister. I'm like, okay.
Right. I'm like, what did you? Like I said, he was ear hustling.
And and then
Hmm.
and then the other part is so he just met some strangers and just decided to go to Vegas with them.
He was. I
I
think
need to take a
no.
sip
He
on
was
that one.
traveling to Vegas too.
Okay.
He was traveling to Vegas too.
Okay, because I thought you was just saying that he. I was about to say that's a little too
Like I'll
coincidental for
go
me.
too. No, no. He was traveling. He was traveling there too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think that. While that makes a good anecdote, whatever, but I don't think that I would do that. I would just wait because you going to Vegas. You're destined to get an appointment at
Right.
any chapel. So but hey,
Or just
they
wait till
they
the
wanted
next day. It's not like he was on
yeah
a well, but to each his own.
yeah to each their
And
own.
we hope that they have
A
a
very
long,
successful, happy
successful
marriage.
and what a story to tell your grandchildren. I mean,
Yes, and they didn't
or
have to come up out of any money, so that's always good.
Yeah.
that part.
Right. Right.
All right, y'all.
Okay.
So,
But what in the world? Now that was a real good one. What in
Yeah.
the
right.
entire world?
All right. So today's topic. Why does it seem that nice guys finish last? Because we all heard that saying, nice guys finish last, and we know that it's a lot of nice guys in the friend zone right now with some woman that they really care for. So I want to talk about, some reasons why some women, will brush the nice guys to the side and go with the other guys. Because I know personally, I had my share of, you know, quote unquote, the bad boy, you know, and really didn't get, I didn't, I could tell you, I didn't really give the nice guys a chance, especially when I was in high school. I knew it was this one particular guy who somebody told me that he liked me, right?
Mhm.
He was cute, but he was,
A
a nice
cornball.
guy.
A
Yeah,
cornball.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And I was like, no. I didn't tell him that. I told the person that told me that, he liked me, but yeah, I didn't. I was shallow and stuff back then, but
I think
um
it's because when we're growing up, we watch it. Well, it's what we see on television. The bad guy is always the attractive one. They've been peddling us that load of dung for many years.
mhm,
The only girls who marry corny guys in Disney movies, they were not corny guys. They were either a king or a villain. So their nice guys were always somebody that of affluence and of money, whereas in the real world, you know, we watch gangster movies. Who everybody wanted a gangster boo because why?
Mhm.
Because that gangster had the money. He
I
had
blame I blame
the
MC
shine.
Light because want a roughneck,
That roughneck.
Gotta-
She was jamming out. When that song came out, you couldn't tell me that. I was like,
right.
Right.
yeah, that was the jam. That beat was so hard,
Yeah.
Mhm.
so
Right.
hard. So I think it's because of the things that we've been fed. Because throughout history, you know, Romeo and Juliet, he was the bad guy. He was from the other side of the fence, and I think a lot of times, um, we have been, you know, brainwashed into social economics and
Right.
not looking at the person, and that's why we. I know I picked. I had a cornball that like me, and when I was young, he saved up all his money
Oh.
to take
Oh.
me to dinner at the Renaissance Center.
Oh.
And I was like, and my mother was like, go with him. He's such a nice boy. But I didn't like him. So I
Mm.
went ahead and went. And
So
when we got in
Cam,
the
so
car,
why didn't you like him?
he was so corny. Oh my God. He's
Okay,
still a
like
cornball though.
elaborate. So how what was corny? What was
He
corny
was
that
our
he
only
did?
child, and his mother, he was the only child, his mother's only child, and she worshiped the ground he walked on.
Oh
So
wow.
he had unrealistic expectations about life, himself, and everything else, because everything was like, oh, so and so junior, junior. She got on my nerves. He didn't have a chance in heck because he was a mama's boy, and I was like, ooh.
Mm.
Mm.
But he saved up all his money, and my mother made me get dressed and go. I was about 14, 15. He was a couple years older. And I told him, we got out there, we got to the restaurant. I looked at him and said, take me to McDonald's and take me home.
Oh, wait. So did he drive or did y'all get dropped off?
He drove.
Oh
I
wow.
did. And we stayed friends for years. And I
Oh,
did apologize to him because that was very rude. That was very disrespectful because, you know, I was young and I didn't, you know, at that age, at 15, 16. I ain't like
Yeah.
boys like that because I had brothers and growing up when they be passing gas and doing all the stuff that boys do, I was like, oh, boy,
Right.
get away from me. Only person I was in love with was Jesus. I'm serious. I'd be going around high school like, they'd be like, what's that? I'm a virgin for life.
It's a
Yeah, yeah,
whole a whole sign for it.
yeah. Me and my one, a couple of
Virgin
my
for-
girlfriends, we was like,
yes.
because we
Uh-oh.
was all church girls. We was gonna go to heaven
Right.
and be
Oh, trust
perfect.
me, I was right there too. But
Mhm.
you
See,
know,
Yeah.
that's it. I said SWB. That's why we on this call. We shout out.
okay,
But
Chantel. So
I did apologize to
you
him
did.
when we got older. But
Uh-huh.
he grew up to be a cornball. I dodged that one. Jesus.
You know
Mm.
what? Is he married now?
Is he married?
He has been married 3 times
Oh,
Ooh.
and divorced 3 times.
I'm interested to see
Mm.
what type of women he went for, though.
Wow.
Right.
Oh.
Okay. So Chantel. So
Only thing I
Chantel,
can say is
y'all.
it was never his fault. Nothing is
Okay.
ever his fault. So
Okay.
never.
All right.
It's always her
So
mother.
okay. So y'all, Chantel, she actually married a nice guy. Her
I did.
hubby is so nice. I know her hubby. We was in a songwriting group together and
Mhm.
everything. So I know her hubby. But before you got married, um, and up until you met your hubby,
Mhm.
were you interested in nice guys or were you going with some guys you shouldn't have no business going with?
You know, no.
I know.
You remember him, but no. I was not. Um, I did. You know, like of course everybody wanted that bad boy, Or, even like in the movies, they was like, "Oh, I want a bad boy that loves the Lord," and it's like, what's that? So, and I was like, "Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want." And it like I don't know, like you never want like a boring guy,
True.
and so and I just thought that men were, I guess certain men were, oh, I don't know, he seems boring. Seems that, like he didn't have, like, of course, potential to, be of a certain status or a certain
Mm-hmm.
power, or, a certain, like, I guess with, gangster modes and stuff like that. You just want, like, just somebody with a little edge or whatever, but
With some swag,
with
baby.
with
With
Yeah.
some
swag,
swag, some personality and some swag, not just a little,
right?
okay,
But
honey,
it was
whatever you
never
want. You be like,
right. So it was like never a balance. Even like the ones that had swag were the hoes, or the,
Yeah.
just the dudes that be, thinking that they had your back and they never did. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And it was just like,
they
oh,
didn't they didn't want your back, they wanted your front.
front.
Woohoo.
Mm, exactly. Right. So it's just like, that's okay.
But
So,
but
but
a
I
lot of
think,
bad. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh, I'm sorry. But I think as, we all get older, or as I got older, and when I like started dating my husband, I think overall, like I finally like saw his heart, and it was
Mm.
like, okay, does this guy want to take care of me? I was like, dude, like he is a good guy, but like good guys can protect you, good guys can provide for you, and good guys, can be that person that you need them to be.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes time, like, of also, changing yourself as well, I think.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think, like the with the whole bad boys, or not necessarily have to be a bad boy, but like you said, he might be a like a undercover hoe or whatever. But um, I think it's an appeal.
Hmm.
It's a certain appeal. It's like because when you don't know any better, because I'm the reason why I'm doing this series, because those of the younger generation, just listen to us. You don't have to go that route. Get get that Russell Wilson. And um because I've heard today, the reason why I want to do this show, I heard today that there's a lot of guys just clowning Russell Wilson, calling him corny and all of that. Right. And oh, Sierra just with him. I know y'all heard this because of he has money. No, I think she was
She
tired of
had her own money.
she had her own money, but she
She was
was tired of
independent.
dealing with
Right.
somebody who constantly cheated on her and treated her badly. And then, you see this guy who a lot of men call him corny, a cornball, and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing corny about Russell Wilson at all.
Well, I'm just gonna say this. I married a guy who was he wasn't. I would say he was. How can I put him in a category? Um, he came as an angel of light, but he was something totally different. So sometimes you can be attracted to a person because of their representation instead of who they really are. So a lot of times what happens with a lot of young girls, men will talk to you. They'll talk to you about your past, about different things that have happened to you, different things that you've been through. And when you're young, you singing like a canary. Oh, my daddy ain't
Mhm.
here. I ain't got nobody, da 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 da. So then when you give them all this information, then they come in and they fill the void to perfection because, first of all, if they're older than you, then they're going to be more established than you are. So therefore, they're going to know how to move a little bit differently
Mhm.
than you move. And
Right.
with that being said, then next thing you know, they got you hook, line, and sinker because you've given them all the information. They know where the voids are in your life, so they um, come along and they pretend like they're filling the void. Oh, and what happens with a lot of young girls? Oh, they want to look nice. They want their hair done. So this man's gonna come along. He can
Mm-hmm.
come masked as your friend, and he gonna be like, "Oh, no problem. I can get your hair done. Oh, I can get your nails done. I can
Right.
do this, that, and the other." And then next thing you know, you in a whole relationship because now you feel he really likes me. He
Right.
really cares for me. He really wants to be there for me, not knowing that he's really a wolf in sheep's clothing. So I
Right.
would say young women, be careful of those older guys that are trying to talk to you. And especially the creepy ones that's old enough to be your uncle or your daddy. Stop
Mhm.
it. They do
Yeah.
not want you. The only thing they want you for is to lay with you and have that tight young body laying
Right.
next to them. They don't want you. So they what they will do is they will come in and they will listen to your hopes and your dreams and try to make some of them come true.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, so to me, as a younger woman, you should ask an older man the question, why aren't you with someone your own age?
Mhm.
Because
Well, because he wants
you need to get
somebody
in a
he can
relationship with
control.
somebody you can grow with. And if he
Mm-hmm.
Right.
comes in buying you and doing all these things, at some point you're going to grow up and y'all going to be in two different places and you will not be equally yoked.
Right.
Exactly. Right.
I was talking to Chantel like off camera
Hmm.
before we started, and I
Mhm.
was saying there is a lot of nice men that a lot of women put in the friend zone
Yeah.
because they're nice. And they poor things, they they just hanging on in there. Hopefully one day, she'll see me as something else.
Right.
But she just put him in the friend zone because he's nice. And I've had this conversation a little bit with one of my guests a while back in February. It was a young guy, and he was saying that he came across women saying that they don't want the nice quote unquote corny guys. I'm like, why the heck not? Because my brother, he's told me that he has a friend, and that he's been like his brother. They've been knowing each other, been best friends since the second grade. He's a very nice man. He is an engineer, so he's very established. And he lives in California now, but he loves black woman. He wants a black woman, but black women don't want him.
Well, first of all, he lives in a place where people are very pretentious. You
True.
know, when you're in California, everybody wants to be like, I do yoga. I'm
Right.
happy. I want to work out. And I really just don't want anything. And I don't care if they black, white, or whatever color they are. It seems like, um, no pun intended, but most of them have the same mentality. And so I don't care what color you are, but it just
Mhm.
seems, I think for black men, it is more of a jab and more hurtful when you're rejected by your own race.
Yeah.
Because after a while, you're like, what's wrong with me? And it's not anything wrong with him per se, but he's running into that person who just wants to hug a tree and not
Yeah,
hug
I
up.
think too, it might come down to region. It may.
Mhm.
Um, because like I said, the black women don't want him.
They,
So
they
and
want
then
that white
and
man
then
with
if
that,
he
that nice
marries
car.
somebody outside his race, and then they're gonna be looking at him like, well, why he
Yeah,
no, stop.
because all those women, in my opinion, either wants to be an Instagram model or an Instagram influencer, and if you're not photogenic and if you're not like attractive enough, I can't be seen with you. So
Is he nice looking? Okay, keep it real.
He
Mhm.
is.
Yeah.
Some people, not me, but some people say that, oh, he look like Tay Diggs. But yeah.
Hmm. Oh,
Honey,
okay.
it's that thing when it's your brother's friend. You be like, ugh, him?
I
Come on,
know.
him? Oh my God. I get it because I grew up with two brothers, and they're from. When it was funny because when I got to be an adult, they all came looking for me, but I was in a relationship. with my gangster boo. Um,
Mm.
Nice.
Yeah, and you know
but I
what? And
but
it and this
but I
and it
can
was
pick. Hmm?
something that my brother told me not too long ago. He said he always wanted for me to be with a nice guy, somebody that's smart, somebody that's nice, has, a
Morals.
good job and morals and treat me right and all of that. So yeah,
And
the nice guys. All I
they
say,
don't always
ladies,
finish last. They don't.
no, they don't always finish last because there are some nice guys out here, and I'm saying to y'all women, give them a chance. Just
Give
give
them a
them a
Yeah.
chance.
chance.
Because
Yes.
if he don't have his bread up, it doesn't mean that he won't. And then you might need a man that you may have to. Some people lack direction, us
Mhm.
included. And
Mm-hmm.
so I've heard a lot of women be like, "Well, I gotta have a man that's gonna lead me." Okay, but as a woman, we have to put ourselves in the right position to want to be chosen as well, because we live in a world now where all the women want to do is get their hair done, their nails done, and carry a Birkin, and the man take care of them, and all they giving them is a piece of tail. Men
Right.
want a woman, the good men that we're saying that women want but can't get, like the Russell Wilsons. One
Mm-hmm.
thing he did say is he liked her because she was independent and she had her own. Now, you may not be of Sierra status, but you can get your credit together.
Exactly.
You can have some savings going on. You be your best you and stop thinking that a man is going to come along and save a hoe. It was a
Ex-
song a long time ago that says,
exactly.
I want to be saved. And with Instagram and all these social media platforms, these girls are just going on there just giving all the visuals in the world, is leaving nothing up to the imagination. And then they're wondering why they don't get chosen by the good man.
And then you have like the other side, like you said, like a lot of those women they want to be taken care of, but then you have on the other side to the other extreme, the ones who do have their own. They like, I don't need a man for this and that. I'm good over here,
Mm-hmm.
I
So
used to be her.
because men, it's in their nature to want to take care of you.
Right. Right. They want to be
Like
that good.
I'm independent,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
but but I wouldn't mind, my man, wanting to be the man. I have no problem letting him be the man.
You have to when he a real
Bruh, you
man.
go ahead, be the
Exactly.
man all day.
Right.
I yes. Yeah,
Um,
I'm not one of those women. No.
Right. And I mean, I have a a part time job, and my husband, like my husband takes care of pretty much all the bills, but if there's like an emergency, or I'm still building my credit, I'm still building our savings,
Mhm.
in my own savings. So, and just to make sure he's good too. So
that part.
like that needs to happen. It's like, okay, well, I can spend my money since he paying all the bills, and it's like that's not fair.
Mhm.
It's like, because
That's
sometimes,
kind of like irresponsible.
right, right,
Hmm.
and it's like if he needs a cushion, I'll be there. That's what I signed up for.
Mhm.
So yeah, but
I think that's beautiful. And see, Um, the other thing that we have to, as far as the bad boy persona, some of these men walk around with this hard outside shell, and they act like they a bad boy when they really are just a ball of mush inside. But they have this persona up because they've been hurt so many times. Because when they were being the good boy man and letting somebody get close to them, then he may have gotten a rotten apple.
mm,
Mhm.
hmm,
And he
Mhm.
bit the worm and it didn't taste good. So now he said, hey, this is what they want. So I'm going to give them this persona of what they want. And that's why some men are the way that are, because they've been hurt.
exactly.
Mhm.
And some men ain't even like that. They just giving off that persona because it makes them feel better and they attract more women that way.
Mhm.
Right,
And
right.
don't get it twisted, y'all. Look, when we say the nice guys, give them a chance because they can be they might be, the best person for you. Because a lot of people too, a lot of women think, oh, just because he's nice, he can't protect me. Because another reason for the lure of the quote unquote bad boy type is that, like, oh, he can protect me and this and that, but please don't get it twisted. Some of them nice guys, just because they're quiet and stuff like that, those are ones you got to watch out for, okay? And they can protect you.
They can.
Trust.
Just because, and another thing we have to learn in maturity, just because he not cussing and ignorant, and just because he doesn't respond every time something goes down, he's not responding because he's thinking. He's not a coward, because you could be with a man and you thinking, oh, well, he did this, then if somebody do this, then he should fight them. Why? First of all, he could get hurt, he could get killed, you could
Right.
get killed, he could go to jail. So sometimes you need to be with a man who can think his way out of a situation
That
instead of
part.
react emotionally, because emotions get you hurt.
Exactly.
And I didn't talk about this for a reason, but just we saw it this past during the Oscars. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
So, like I'm the type of woman where okay, I get I get that, a man want to protect his wife. I get that. But also I think we as women, we are to protect our men as well.
You better speak
Exactly.
on it, girl.
So
You
I'm
better.
the type. I wouldn't egg it on like you gonna let him talk to me like that. No, boo, no, because anything can happen. And I'm not talking about what happened with Will Smith. I'm talking about, like, say we just out somewhere, and because if I didn't get fondled or touched or anything like that, somebody just talking, like, babe, let's just let it go. Let's leave,
Because you're
because
protecting him.
I'm protecting him.
Exactly.
I don't want
Exactly.
him to go to jail over something. I don't want him to get killed over something. And then I
Exactly.
have to carry the burden of, he got killed because,
Because you
trying to,
protect
protect
you.
me when it really wasn't necessary. Because again, if they don't put their hands on me or anything like that, it's just talk.
Right.
And we can excuse ourselves. It's that takes strength, because anybody can just act a fool. It takes
Fruit of the
strength
spirit, honey,
to
self
remove
control.
yourself.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah. So, yeah. So don't get it twisted. It's because, he's nice. I mean, granted, there are some corny men who probably cannot protect you like that. I'm not talking about them.
Right.
So if you with a man and you know he can't protect you, you take a self defense course. Maybe you have to protect both of y'all. But but don't confuse a man's being quiet and
Ex-
reserved as being a punk,
Weak as being weak,
as
right?
being weak, because that's not true.
Oh no, no,
The
no.
best man to have is a thinker, a
Yes.
man who can think his way out of a situation instead of a reactor who just reacts to everything. Because if
Right.
he reacts to everything
Or
outside of the relationship, eventually he's going to react to everything inside of the relationship as well.
or even if he, let's just say sometimes he can go pop off the handle. Have a man who is willing to listen to you when you're trying to protect him. Not
Mhm.
like, oh, you don't know what you're talking. Move. No, that's gonna take heed. Like, you know what? Yep, babe, you're right.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna do this. So yeah, it's yeah, that's important as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So the nice guys don't always finish last, because
No.
I've gotten to a point in my life where, again, I'm like, in order for me to get a different result, I have to do something different. Because we all know that in the definition of insanity, where you do the same thing over and over again, but you're expecting different results. How are you going to get different results when you're constantly doing the same thing over and over again? You're going to get different results when you do something different.
Exactly.
And some women that's listening to me, you're doing something different, maybe the type of guys that you are dating.
Hmm.
Right.
And
So,
what
go
is
ahead.
your advice, Chantel, since you married or still? What would be your advice to the younger women as far as um, just taking their time and getting to know a cornball? That's not really a cornball.
I would say, well, the keyword, well, taking your time to actually getting to know somebody. Like most of us do, like rush into relationships, but you have to. I would feel like taking the time to get to know someone, and also just seeing, of course, is the attraction there? What I'm saying, like, is it? But just don't throw it away. Give it a chance.
Mhm.
Give it a chance. And you'll know. You'll know. And just, I hate to go there, but just pray.
Yeah. Ain't
No,
nothing
you
wrong with
have to
that.
pray,
Yeah, just
and
Mhm.
pray.
and and
And
also take the time to be somebody's friend. Get to know who they
right,
really are.
right,
Um, I've had people in my life who have dated guys, and they didn't even meet their families until weeks before they were going to get married. And I had one friend; she didn't meet them till some people until the day they got married, and it was like,
Was it
you
because they were out of town? They lived in
know,
another state? Oh, okay.
he just he didn't. And unfortunately, the relationship didn't last
Mm.
because she didn't really know him. I think, some people are so quick to show you their representative. That's why, ladies, just be careful when you meet even the nice guy, because sometimes
right,
the nice guy can be a wolf in sheep's clothing. I
exactly,
remember years ago, I dated a guy. He would bring me flowers. He was a nice guy. He drove a nice car. He was an engineer, all of that. And I thought he was just sweet, and I really was starting to really like him. But next thing I know, like fifth, sixth date, he was trying to force me, like, "Are we going to get a room?" Huh? And he
oh
was, and he was the nice guy, the one
yeah,
that my mother just adored. Oh, he got a good job, and he got this, he got that, and he basically was like,
mm-hmm.
well, you better do this and blah blah blah. We gonna do this because if you don't, you ain't gonna have a ride home. So I told him, I said,
Oh.
Oh wow,
my brothers have your driver's license information, and that's okay. You can drop me off because I got money to get home. But once
right,
I get home, you better watch yourself.
right,
And then he
right,
said, I'm so sorry, honey. I was selling all kinds of wolf tickets. But
Mm.
he took me home. And after that, I didn't want to see him anymore because
yeah,
sometimes young men will trick your parents. They'll trick everybody around you to thinking that they're a nice guy, and they're really not.
right.
Mhm.
It
So,
That's why
ladies,
I
you got
said.
to be careful.
That's why I said. Make sure you do have to make sure that they are genuinely a nice guy because,
hmm
um,
Know
oh, was
people
it?
that know them.
Yeah, I think it
right,
was
right, right,
BuzzFeed. I think not too long ago they released like an article where they saying that women were giving their stories about dating nice guys and the crap that they did to them, and like you said, there's some um sheep, wolves in sheep's clothing, because some will pretend to be a nice guy because they know
yeah,
that a lot of some, women do respond to that. There are women who respond to that, so they know that they trying to play the game. But you really do have to make sure, like Cam said, you have to ask questions. you
definitely,
know um you do.
definitely,
You have to verify that they are a nice guy
right,
because
and
there are generally some nice guys out here. It just there are. I'm talking about those genuine ones, the ones, ladies, that you have in the friend zone
right,
that's
right,
not gay.
And just because he don't want to jump your bones does not mean he's not
Mm,
that he's gay.
Exactly. He's
He's
being
trying to make sure that he
respectful.
know what he gonna dip his pen into, and you shouldn't be wanting somebody who want to just uh you know hem you up anyway. What was you about to say, Chantel?
No, I was just saying that I know I might get grilled for this, but I was dating my I had been dating my husband for 6 years, and I know that's a long time. I know that's a long time
It's all right, honey.
to date.
Mhm.
Like you'd be like, but we just wanted to make sure. Well, it was other things as well,
Yeah.
other personal things, but just for us to like really get to know each other, and I was like what you really about, what I'm saying? So it took, just to, I was like, okay. And I know, like, sometimes with dating processes, it's like, okay, get to date somebody for at least a year, before, you're trying to, consider even like marrying this person. But, um, that's why I mean, you even said yourself, like, just get to
Hmm.
know, get to know this person, like, get to
Hmm.
know folks, because you be like surprised. I dated dudes that I thought, oh man, he's so sweet, and then like will turn on you in a quick
Hmm.
second. It's like, what happened? Like, I thought he was
Right.
nice. I
Like
thought he was
Dr.
like
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
hi. And it's just like, wait
And
a
just
minute.
because he take you home to meet his mama don't mean nothing.
Right,
Cause
it
I
don't.
I
It
was
does.
I saw somebody one time, he was married and he would take the women home and his mother would put up with his bullshit stuff.
Oh,
She knew that he was married and he would bring these women home and they was probably,
Uh-uh.
oh my
and
goodness.
she would get quiet and say, "Oh, hi, how you doing?" But she would never say, "I wish my son would." I'd be like,
Right.
Right.
he had the right one. And ladies, because sometimes mothers just go along with their sons no matter what they do. And
Hmm.
they'll have you fooled. And it's sad because that means it's some hurt or something that has happened in her life, some
Hmm.
trauma where she thinks that that's okay. Ain't there'll be no ride or die for for no mess. Mess is
Right.
mess. I don't care how you try to sugarcoat it and what color you paint it. It's always gonna smell the same.
That's the
Stank.
truth.
Okay.
That, that,
Right. So, ladies, we just want to come on here and just, like I said, I was just impressed just to come on and say, give the genuine nice guys a chance.
Find you a
Um,
Russell Wilson.
find you a
they're
Russell,
out there.
honey. Like I
And
said,
we're talking
no, no,
about the content of his
I'm not talking
character.
about like rich.
The
Never.
I'm
character.
talking about his character, his attributes.
Yes.
You know,
She, did you
mhm.
hear the story that she told? She said when he met her, his wallet was busted. And she looking at him like, why you got a busted up wallet like that? And he said, my wallet represents consistency. Because one thing
Mm,
about it, I've had this wallet, I've had it for a long time, and that just
mm.
goes to show that I'm consistent.
He was
So
loyal to that wallet.
he was
Yes.
loyal to that wallet. And sometimes even as when we'll be looking at a man like, why he driving that messed up car? He might be driving that messed up car and have a whole lot of money in the bank.
Hmm.
Because a
Right.
lot of men are frivolous, but sometimes men also want to know that a woman wants to be with them for who they are and
Yes.
not
Exactly.
for what they have.
Yes.
So
And,
sometimes
and
follow your heart and take a chance with that nice guy who is going to love you and who's going to be loyal to you versus you trying to go with that flashy flash who probably living in his mama's basement, maxing out all his credit cards and he ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, but you trying to chase after him and he taking you to the red roof every weekend.
Or he may have his own place, but he out there hoeing
mhm.
around.
That
Right.
part.
Telling you you the only one, but you're not.
You know.
Right.
So, just ladies trust. Like I said,
Let him
I know
prove himself to
it's
you.
somebody that's listening. I know, and I know you
Mhm.
like, trust me,
Right.
trust, girl. Give the one that you have. Oh, that's just my friend. Give him a chance. If
Y'all, y'all
if
are friends for a reason.
yeah,
Yeah.
if
The one that's been hanging around you for
yeah.
8 years and watching you go through all these knuckleheaded fools, and he's still sitting
Exactly.
there looking at you, picking you up and drying your tears.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah, if
Exactly.
if he feels the same, so yeah. But yeah, y'all women, go ahead. Don't just the bad boys, the flashy men. That's passe. Unless you want that, You don't want nothing else, do you, boo? But if you want something with some substance, if you want something to last, you know,
And
don't
have real
overlook the nice guys.
conversations. Don't go by what he just says. Watch what he does.
Actions. Oh yeah,
Right.
girls, I
Right.
never go by. I mean, you can tell me stuff. Okay, that's fine, but I'm going to look at your actions.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Hmm.
But you
Exactly.
know, a lot of these young women too. Well, he bought me this. It don't matter what he spent on you, because what
No,
he spent on you, he could be spending on somebody else too.
And
exactly
that's the case too.
Watch what he does. Watch what he does. Watch
that
how he
part.
handles your heart. Watch
That
how
Exactly.
he
part.
listens to you. Watch how when
Listen.
you're going through whatever that he says, I'm here for you. What do you need? I got
Right.
you.
Right. Right.
Without him trying to get the panties.
Right.
Exactly.
Because when a man really loves you, he's not always trying to sleep with you. He
Ex-
listens to you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to find somebody that will lay with you. That come a dime a dozen. But does he listen to
Or
you?
yeah, that part too. Or let's just say, you do get to that point where you lay or whatever. Is he selfish?
mm,
Is
mm.
he selfish? Okay. And I'm gonna take a sip on that, girl. Is he selfish? Because he should be giving you everything that you're giving to him, or he should be giving you a little bit more. Hello.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That part.
That part. Okay.
That part.
All right. And we're going to end on that.
Good, because my wine is almost over.
Right.
Thank you so much, ladies, for just coming on here and, just kicking it with me. Just breaking it
It's
down.
always fun to kick it with Kay.
Oh, for
Hey.
sure.
Thank
Hi.
you, Chantel, for coming on for the very first time.
Thank y'all for having me. This was awesome.
Oh, good, good.
You're
Glad you
awesome. I
enjoyed
love
yourself.
you. You're so
Good.
sweet.
She is sweet, very
She
sweet.
is.
So thank you so much. And those of you who are listening, I will see you next week. Next week will be, I believe, the relationship panel. We're gonna go live on May 10th on the Facebook page, okay? And then it's gonna be streaming the next day. But get those questions in because one of the things I really want to cover with the relationship panel is how do you avoid temptations?
Ooh, honey.
And you know it's gonna be good because we're gonna have Malachi, we're gonna have
Keep your
Quan.
mind stayed on the Lord. Keep it on Jesus. That's
When
what you would say if you was
when
in
you're
church.
in a
Keep
when
your
you're
mind
in
on
a
the Lord.
when you're in a relationship, how do you avoid temptations of the opposite sex? So we're gonna
Definitely.
talk about that and some other stuff. You'll get your questions in. If you have your questions in, we're gonna hit that up too. So y'all tune in. And then, like I said, later on in the month, we're gonna have an episode about sex. Again, mom, don't watch that one. Um, and
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk
Hey.
about you and me.
but
Hey.
but yeah, so I just want people to be safe out there and all that kind of good stuff. So next week I will see you all. And again, thank you, Cam, and thank you, Chantel, for joining me
Thank you for
today.
having us.
All right. And ladies, give those nice guys a chance, okay? All right.
Nice
Please.
guys don't always finish last, honey.
They don't, honey.
Right.
I can tell you that. um, all right. So we're gonna be out, and ladies, don't click out just yet. But everybody else, bye.
Bye.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. It's time to turn up your radio. Turn up the radio. Just so you know, you're kicking it with K. That's all I'm gonna say. You're here now.